Hi guys, it's Legionero back with another video. Today I'm doing a quick tutorial on Simplicity 8656 View A, the skirt. A couple of things before we get started. You are working with stretch knits for this project, so you want to make sure that you are using a stretch needle or ballpoint needle, and you also want to make sure that you're using the stretch stitch on your sewing machine. On my sewing machine, the stretch stitch is just a narrow zigzag stitch. So if you don't have a stretch stitch on your sewing machine, you can just use a narrow zigzag. There are some instructions that I don't follow in the pattern instructions because I found different ways to make the pattern that makes it easier for me. The waistband is one example. So if you want to follow the pattern instructions with the waistband, when I do the waistband in the video, just follow instructions 4 through 10 in the instructions, and then you can come back and sew along with me. But if you're going to use my method for the waistband, you just keep watching that portion of the video. So let's get started. Now with our skirt, I'm going to start by sewing down our side seam. Now I'm going to sew around the curved edge. Now you can take your skirt to the ironing board and you can press open your seams. So you're going to press open your seams on your side seam as well as the curved seam. You're just going to press your seams open, or you can serge it and then press your seams. Okay, so now that we have our curve sewn and our side seam sewn, now what you want to do, you're going to do a narrow hem down the shorter side and along the bottom of your skirt. So this portion up here is your waist. All right, so you're leaving that alone. And how you know it's your waist, you have notches up here for your waistband. All right, so remember on the pattern piece, you had a long side and you had a shorter side. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a narrow hem along the shorter side, and you're also going to hem along the bottom of your skirt. So it's like you're doing the last part first, basically. So you're going to hem the bottom of your skirt and you're going to hem the side of the skirt that's open. All right. So how I like to do this, I like to take mine to the ironing board and I like to press it. Okay, so I still have my wrong side facing up. So what I did, remember this is your curve, I pinned a narrow hem all the way around the shorter side. All right, so this is the shorter side, and I went to my ironing board, I did a double fold and press, and I used pins to hold my hem in place. All right, so the shorter side, your shorter side is open, you haven't sewn this yet. So the shorter side, narrow hem is pinned all the way around, and I also did a narrow hem along the bottom of the skirt. All right, so we're going to take this to the sewing machine. We're going to sew around the shorter end, and we're also going to sew the hem at the bottom of our skirt. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sew around the shorter side first. and then I'll sew around the hem of my skirt. All right, so now that we have our narrow hem sewn around the shorter side and the bottom of our skirt, now we can take our skirt and turn it to the right side. So this is what our skirt should look like. All right, so I have the right side facing up. Now I'm going to take my pattern piece, and whatever size you made, that's how you're going to mark this stitching line. You'll see where it says stitching line on your pattern piece. Just kind of line it up on your skirt. And I did a large, so I'm just going to take a pin and stick it in the circle where it says large. I'm going to follow this line up, and I'm going to take my chalk. You can use a marking pen, and I'm just going to mark where the large line starts with my chalk. This just lets me know where I need to start stitching, and the pen lets me know where I need to stop stitching. So I'm just going to fold this over, and I'm going to make a mark with my chalk at the pen. Alright, remove my pattern piece. And at these marks, I'm just going to draw a line, just like the stitching line on the pattern piece, and I'm just going to eyeball it. If you have like a little curved ruler or just a regular ruler, because it looks like the line is kind of curved, but I'm just going to eyeball it. And I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch from here to here. I'm just going to stitch down the line that I just made using my chalk, right? I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and end, but you're just basically sewing a line where you marked with your marking pen. And you are sewing on the right side of the fabric, not the wrong side. Now take your waistband to the ironing table and press your seams open. If you have a serger, you can serge your seams and then press them. Your waistband, you sewed your waistband together. Take it to the ironing board, and you're going to press it with wrong side spacing. So you press it with wrong side spacing, and the right side of your waistband should be facing up. So your wrong sides should be facing. All right, you should have stitched just one line according to the size that you cut right down the front of your skirt, and you did it on the right side. All right, so now all we have to do is attach our waistband and our elastic. So I don't do my waistband like the instructions. I found that I like doing it this way. All right, so I'm going to flip the skirt over so that the shorter side is to my left. All right, this is going to be the back of my skirt. You can choose which side of the skirt you want to be asymmetrical. All right, so you choose which side you want to be your asymmetrical side and flip your skirt over so you're looking at the back. The back of your skirt is facing up. So I'm going to place it onto my skirt, and you have side seams here, so just match up your side seams, and you also have notches. Match up your notches. You should have notches on the front and the back of your skirt. All right, so what I do differently is on the back of my skirt, I leave an opening in the back of my skirt to insert the elastic into the waistband. All right, so I'm using two different kinds of pins here to let me know where to start and where to stop, to leave this opening in my waistband so I can insert my elastic. That's how I insert my elastic. The instructions are a little bit different, so if you want to follow the instructions, go ahead and follow from steps 4 through steps 10 if you want to follow the instructions in the pattern. All right, so if you're following my method of the waistband, don't forget to leave an opening in the back of your waistband. All right, so you should have an opening in your waistband. So you're just going to take your elastic and grab a safety pin. Place it on the end of your elastic, and you're going to feed your elastic through just the waistband. And be careful not to let the other end go on the inside. You'll lose it and you have to start all over. And it's hard to kind of fish out if you let it get stuck in there. Once you have your elastic completely pulled through, take your elastic and overlap it, and you're going to sew with the zigzag stitch, securing this in place. All right, so let's do a zigzag stitch, securing our elastic in place. Now just go ahead and finish pulling your elastic through. Make sure it's even all the way around. What you're going to do now, you're just going to close up the opening that you left in the waistband. I like doing this method because I don't have to hand stitch. Once you've added your elastic and closed the opening that you left in the waistband, your skirt is all done. So that's it, guys. You see how quick and easy this skirt is to make. It is a very flirty, sexy skirt with the asymmetrical on one side, so you can dress this up and it'll be a great skirt for date night. If you have any questions for me, put them in the comments section below and I'll make sure that I answer all of them for you in a timely manner. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button and I'll see you in my next tutorial.